ladies out there listening, you've got to stop playing these games. Yeah. You've got to stop playing these games. I have no respect for women that keep the kids from the father because they're mad at the son. Now, if the dad is a child molester or is whipping you, that's one thing. But do not play these games. He is your son. He's not your son. He is your daughter. It is your daughter. That is so evil. And you know, you think you're getting him back. You're hurting your child. You're hurting your child. Why are you doing that?
And I think fellas need to go and take their right to, you know, go to the courts and find out that's your child and get your legal right to your child, because really, no matter what happens, you know, the sky can fall, all kind of bad things can happen in your life, and she can do whatever, and she can be a bitch or whatever. You have a right to your child. You have to take your right, and at the end of the day, it is nobody's responsibility to give that right to you. You have to go and get it. If you want to be in your child's life, you can be no matter what she does. If you get your right.
The mom being a bitch is not an excuse. Shelby, did you want to chime in on that?
I was going to say.
You took your answer?
Good point.
No, that's very personal. You know, I'm like, no way. Don't sit up here and tell me, oh, this person ran me out of my child's life. That sounds ridiculous.
Right. My father said that the same exact thing. Your mother didn't want to be around my new wife. Not true. I know the new wife.
You know what? No, even if that was the case, it is your responsibility to say
exactly,
because your kid's gonna grow up and feel that they're not gonna know. They're not gonna believe that. They're gonna feel my dad.
He should have fought for it. Every time I went to a dance and I was going to whether it was a prom or whatever, he wasn't there. So he looks at all the pictures and, oh, this is what I missed. Yeah, this is what you missed. He'll see me on TV. When did you film that? I don't. And this is just the truth. I don't call my dad first. I call my mom and my brother. Right. I don't really even think to call my dad. I'll call him after it's done and be like, oh, hey, Dad, I do this. So he's like, you didn't tell me you did this. And I have to really focus on including him because he was so not around.
That's so sad. It's kind of like having a living dead relative. Like he's alive, kind of, but he's dead in your life.
In the direct life, in my fave 5. He's not in my fave 5.
Am I in fave 5?
I think you're my fave 5. Just because you can cook, though. Just because you can cook. That's the only reason.
I'm not fatherly to you. H3. Okay.
There are actually a lot of men out there, and I see this in my profession all the time, especially
as a police officer.
As a police officer, yeah. During the holidays, especially, that's when a lot of mothers play those games, those Mickey Mouse games, and there actually are a lot of fathers who are stepping up. I advise fathers all the time, you know, go to the courts. It's bad enough as it is that the courts are slanted towards the female anyway. And a lot of times there are a lot of women out there that are just straight scandalous. And even in my position, I can see that they're playing the okie doke, but the way the laws are, I can only respond a certain way. You know, but
is that frustrating to you as a man when you see that the woman's playing games? Is it frustrating to you that it seems like the benefit of the doubt usually goes to the woman?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's really sad because you see some guys, I mean, not everybody has it, you know, good. People are going through some hard things right now, but and a lot of times the only thing they have is their children. Yeah. You know, and it's really hard to see a man who's out there working, busting his ass, doing what he has to do as much as he can, only for this woman to, you know, either want to call the cops and say he didn't bring the babies back on time. This guy's stuck in traffic on the highway. So he's got to come home to the cops waiting for him, you know, on some nonsense.
Right. Yeah, but a lot of times I feel, because my first son's father, like, he made my life miserable and, like, took my son away from me when he was a year old. Because first he didn't want to have the baby, then he wasn't the father, then we took a paternity test and now he was the father. Then he literally, like, took him from me because I had no family, I had nothing, because I literally was 19 years old. And he kept my son for he had custody of him for about 3 years. We had joint custody, but the first year he had sole custody. And one day he just literally dropped him off in LA in the summer and just never came back for him and was like, I can't take care of him. And I'm like, and now it's like a mission to get him to see him. I'm like, he literally put me through all of that just to make me miserable, not because he loves his son.
How confusing that's his son.
And now my son he's like, I don't understand. I want to go see daddy. I want to do this. And I'm like, and he's 10 and he needs his father now at this time.
So in defense of all the women, let's say, that are doing certain things in regards to maybe keeping the child away, it's because they're bitter. They've been through a lot. Because I don't want the women to think that we're bashing them, you know, for
that's not a
standing up for. It's not a reason, but maybe some of the women might be thinking, well, there's a reason why I feel this way, you know.
But when it comes to your child, you have to think outside of yourself. That's the whole part of being a parent. You have to think outside of yourself and think of what's best for the child, and you can't I can't stand my children's father, okay? But I beg him to be in their lives.
Somebody on Twitter asked the question, because your child's father's Razcans, right?
Right.
And you have twins?
Yes.
I didn't know that, but someone on Twitter, they know, they're like Twittering.
They know.
And how was it? So you have it's kind of a public relationship. You know,
I mean, I don't know what it is.
People knew about
it's not even a relationship anymore because he's not there for his kids. Wow. And that's why it frustrates me a lot when people say, well, you know, the person ran with me away or whatever. I make it as easy as possible for this person to see his children. You know, he just chooses not to do that. And now they're 13. I mean, it was cool when it was like 3, 4,
right,
5, he'll get it together. Now they're 13. They're young men, you know.
And they're starting to develop identities of their own.
Yes. And you know what they told me? They said, Mom, you do a good job, and maybe it's better that we don't have him around.
Wow.
That's how I felt.
Compliments and big ups to you.
Right. Yeah, shout out to Stephen Moses.
Holding it down.
If you're not going to step up to be a good father, then maybe you are doing more damage to good by being, you know,
right.
being
I think it bothers me more because I didn't have a dad, and I don't want that same thing for them. You know, I didn't want that same thing to happen. I know the deficiencies that I feel, you know.
Right.
But, hey, that's how they feel about it. And some people take, like you, they take that approach. Like, I didn't have a dad, but I'm not missing nothing.
Right.
But see, the thing is, you could also, I'm sorry, what you could also tell your boys is be the man that they're missing.
Exactly.
You know, the man that is not doing the things that they wish he was there for when they age and they get older and they start stepping into those shoes of manhood. Be the man that they were missing. Be the brother that wasn't there for them.
Exactly.
My brother is like that. My father wasn't around, and he is super dad now. He has 2 daughters, and he goes far and beyond. He's like, you know what? He cussed my father out one time. He's like, I think it's your fault, the way Claudia is. Why is she her age? She doesn't have a boyfriend. She has issues with men. I was like, God damn, Larry, you said all that. Maybe I haven't found the right one there, Larry. But Larry was on it. Larry went in on him one day, and he really let my father have it. I didn't know he felt that way, that he even thought that, but he equated my struggles and relationships to my father not being around. And he told my father, I'll never be like that. Like, I go out of my way to be there because he has 2 daughters himself.
That's right.
All right, we have a caller who's been waiting for a long time. We have from Houston, we have Tim. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for waiting, Tim.
Going once, going twice.
Let's talk about some successful people. Oh, we have Trouble from Georgia. Trouble.
He dropped. Tim is there.
Tim is there.
Timmy.
Hey, what's going on?
That's a girl.
That's Trouble.
Oh, Trouble.
Hey, what's up, Trouble?
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
Hi,
Hey,
how are
girl,
you?
what's on your mind?
I was going to say, like, my father wasn't necessarily in the home with me, but he was that strong father, and he had 3 girls, and I'm 27, they're 36, and 39. And even to this day, my daddy was crazy. My daddy was a thug, but he was a loving father. We have problems with our boyfriends, our husbands. We'll tell them quick, I'm going to call my daddy going to come and fuck you up. Fuck their ass up. And because of that, you know what I'm saying, I love my father to death. No, he wasn't in the home with me. And to the guy before, I think men need to realize, even though you don't like your baby mama, go get your child legitimized. If your child is not legitimized, it's your fault.
There you go.
There you go. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Trouble.
So men who...
I'm saying, and then in light of this, I'm watching Maury today because I was at home with my daughter. And I see, like, you know, these women with these, you know, which one is your baby daddy? The paternity test. Not the 4th one. Let's try the 5th one. I mean, situations like that is just crazy. It'll make you laugh when they be running off stage.
No, it ain't that one.
We only have 15 minutes left. We have a lot more to get to. Okay, so successful people who grew up without fathers.
Ooh, I know
that grew up to make. All right, name some.
Oh, our lovely President Barack Obama grew up fatherless.
Jay-Z. Tom Cruise.
Yes.
Bill Clinton. Jamie Foxx.
Look at that.
Al Pacino.
Halle Berry. Madonna.
Well, Alicia Keys.
She had different daddies.
Yeah. Well, the dad wasn't in the home like some of these callers.
Marilyn Monroe.
Yes.
Wow. Stop it.
She grew up in an orphanage. She was actually in an orphanage as well.
Okay. Al Pacino.
Yes.
How about some unsuccessful fatherless? Because 85% of all serial killers are fatherless.
Oh yeah, let's
we got Billy the Kid, Jack the Ripper, Charles Manson, Monster Cody, who was the LA Crips gang lord, Jeffrey Dahmer, Adolf Hitler, and Saddam Hussein.
All without see,
all
you bomb-ass men out there that were not there for your little serial killer kids. If it wasn't for you, people would still be alive these days.
And I bet
a real person. Oh my damn!
It is Shelley Real.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It really is.
It was like a movie.
She thought what was what? Movie based on the real person.
She thought Saddam Hussein was a real person.
No, I said Jack the Ripper.
She's thinking Jack the
person.
She's thinking
Jack the Ripper. Anything you hear about Jack the Ripper was based on a real person.
She's thinking Jack the Rapper. The conference in Florida.
Jack the Rabbit.
Okay, we're gonna take a break and we're gonna school Shelley on some serial killer history.
All right.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna read some Twitters. We have a lightning round. We're gonna shout out the book, shout out the album, shout out your book as well. We'll be back with more after the break. Our topic tonight is Who's Your Daddy? And, yeah, we'll be back.
Wow.
Such a sad song on so many levels. First of all, it's a wedding song, so sadness.
Yes.
Right. Then it's a Dancing with My Dad song.
Okay.
Right.
Which you don't have.
Right.
Well, when you get married, Claudia, you're going to call your dad. Have you taken the aisle, or are you going to, your brother? Who?
I thought about this.
Yes.
Because I very well may be getting married.
I mean,
I might get married.
I want to see this.
I'm going to get married.
2010.
You don't need your dad to
in
give you
2000.
away.
No, she doesn't. I'm just saying.
But the thing is this. What do I do? He's alive, so do I just...
My sister gave me away.
But he's alive. Do I not... Do I just diss him and say, you can come to the wedding, but you're not in the ceremony? Or do I just say, F it, and just,
How do you feel about him? Do you feel like he's someone you want to give you away?
No, I want my uncle, but my uncle
don't
feel it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
You can't repeat that day. So.
Yeah.
I know.
Right.
And if he doesn't deserve it,
He doesn't
you
deserve
can't be
it.
the bigger person all the time.
I know.
I feel you. Personally, like I said, the moment I get married, it's going to be my brother. And I don't know how it's going to be in regards to my father, because he's going to figure like, I'm your father.
Yeah, but
it should
not
be
really.
me, but not really. I'm sorry, you weren't a dad. You were a father. Yes, you reproduced me, and yes, but as far as who was there